Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is December 4th of 2020. I switched back to my newer model, my newer monitor that I got. Yeah, I think this is the newest one. I can't remember now. Anyway, this is 1080p. Nice monitor. It slides up and down. It tilts back good. Tilts, all types. Has a nice stand type thing on it. Yesterday or the day before, I think for a couple of days, I had the ultra wide monitor on it. Let's see if you can see that one on the floor there. Let me see. I think I can bend this thing. I need to work on this little stand. It's one of those type of little stands like you have with lamps. You know, the lamps that I can't see what you see. Let me pull up so I can see what you see. And, whoops, no, you're not. Definitely not pointing down. Whoops, there we go. See the white monitor? There's the white monitor, or that's the back of the monitor, of course. That's the ultra-wide monitor. In front of that, I think, is the another 1080p monitor, and in front of that is a small, Roku TV set. That I really don't have any room in here to I have got. Okay, that could be a project for today. I got to change it. I have to change this stand. This thing just sucks, actually. I don't think I've adjusted it right or something. Okay. I gotta raise this up. I'm gonna change this stand. I've got a bunch of microphone stands and all types of stuff, so I think I'm gonna. That's why what I want to do, and I still cannot find. I should have ordered a cable. I should do that now. What I want to do is hook up my Panasonic G7 and use this. And all I need is a HDMI very small connector that goes from this and then goes to a USB connector that will go in my computer, and then it'll replace this Logitech USB, and I'll be using this. And whoops, I just took the SD card out. Did I put it in? That's correct. I wonder if that SD card is bad. Nope, okay. I guess I just didn't put it in correct. But then I would be able to use okay, that's the wrong thing to twist here. I haven't used this camera very much, and I spent a lot of money on the camera, and now everybody is just wanting to use cell phones. Me too, because you always have a cell phone with you, and some of the cell phones are fantastic. My nose runs a lot. I don't have a cold or anything. I think it's summertime, and when the furnace runs here to keep this apartment warm, dries the air out. I've never lived any place that I can remember that had, or did I? A humidifier that, during the wintertime would put some moisture in the air. Anyway, I'm back using this monitor and giving up on the idea of the extra wide. It just doesn't work for me. It should. That just doesn't work for me. My mind just doesn't go in that direction. There again, let me mention that, I think it may have, I don't think that anybody, well, somebody probably, everybody, not the playlist, no, it's community. I do not believe that anybody really, well, I post to this occasionally, to the community. I should delete this one. This would be out of date by now. Let's see, maybe it's here. Let's see. Delete. Okay, it didn't ask. It just deleted it. Okay. Okay, this thing here would be kind of out of date too. Oops. Delete. Okay. I guess this is channels that I'm subscribed to. Oh, today is Friday, isn't it? So I'll be watching the PBS NewsHour. I just watch it on Friday for the ending commentary from sort of the right and the left, This guy here, Clear Value Tax, he's a CPA, and he's doing a very good job since in the beginning when the surplus thing, when we were getting $1,200 each. A whole bunch of people were doing videos on it, and so I was watching like 4 or 5 or 6 of them, and then I nailed it down to him. He does an excellent job, and he does a report every day. So it looks like, well, it's already bad, but it looks like this, even though we've got, a vaccine coming, it is going to be very bad at hospitals and for people. For this month of December, January, and February, they're saying hospitals are going to be just overwhelmed. I think they already are, but it's just going to be really bad. And of course the vaccine is going to start coming, and then hopefully that will. Last night I was having, I'm not even sure what side the appendix was on. I've never had any. I was having some right side pain, and I thought, no, please. I mean, appendicitis, unless it burst on you, is, it's an operation and all that type of stuff. But I thought, no, I don't want to go to the hospital with go in for something like that and then get the virus. I'll be 80 in March. Wow. An Indian village school teacher wins $1 million and he gives half of it to the runners-up. Wow. These monoliths are appearing. I finally, for the one that appeared, in Utah, or where was that one, the first one, that I wanted to see it up close to, see if it was welded. And if so, I used to be a welder for many years. I wanted to see what the welding looked like on it. Well, another one appeared someplace. I forget where it was. I saw it someplace in the news. And they did a close-up of it. Believe me, aliens did not put that thing together. The welding was just horrible on the thing. I understand that places have to make money with advertising and whatever, but I kind of hate it that CNN, you go down here and then they have the stuff that's paid, that's paid content. That's really kind of iffy. I mean, it's I don't think I've ever clicked on one of them, but it's why the vote to vaccinate our most frail first was not unanimous. I thought the committee that got together, they I wonder what the other point of view was that healthcare workers, first, and then people, that are in nursing homes and those type of facilities, because I guess the death toll there and the situation in these with elderly people packed together in these places with not the best of care. Of course, I'm sure there are places if you have a lot of money that you can get the best of care, but for the rank and file people like I don't want to end up in a nursing. I don't think anybody wants to end up in a nursing home. One time when I was working hospital security, I got called down to the emergency room, and a elderly gentleman had been on his way to the bank with $9,000 in $100 bills to put it in, and I think a safety deposit box. Then he had some type of physical problem and was brought to the hospital by ambulance. So I got called down to count the money. The nurses, of course, had also already counted, and to count the money again and to lock it up securely until he was ready to leave. And so a few days later, I got a call, and I'm going to say something that's probably going to be prejudiced here in a little bit, so okay, forgive me. I'm old, and I'm 90, or going to be 80 in a couple months. Anyway, I got called by the social service office, I believe it was, of the hospital. Said, could you do us a favor? There's a gentleman who came in the other day through the emergency room, and I understand that you locked up his money for safekeeping. Well, he's going to be dismissed, and he wants the money. He's going to go to the bank, deposit it or something like that. I said, yeah, I'm the one that actually picked it up from him. I'd be happy to, I'll return it to him. And I can't remember if they asked me to go to the bank with him or what. Can't remember now. I've forgotten that. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to do it. And so then I got the money and heading for wherever he was. I can't remember that either. This was back in the early 1980s or something. And then I got a call again from the social service office or whatever it was. And they said, well, what you need to do, and could you do this, is he needs to take that money, the nursing home that we arranged for him to go into, found out that he had $9,000. And they said that has to be brought to them and be used for his, supposedly they were to use this money first, and then then the government would start paying out of his Social Security or whatever for being in the nursing home. And I said, I'm going to come to your office. So I went over to her office and I said, they're not going to, they're going to just pocket this money. I said, let me take him to the bank and let him put it in and then take him there. And she said, oh, no, they know about it, and that has to be, it has to be done. You can't do that. I said, blah, 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 blah. Say that he's not going to come, you're not going to put him in that nursing home. I said, keep him here another day, put him in a different nursing home, and don't tell them that he's got $9,000. And let me take him to the bank and put it in the bank. No, he has to go today, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. So, gave him his money. And, I had the money. So I drove him in the patrol car over to the nursing home in a bad part of town. And, took him on in. This is where it's going to get, I guess it would be, is it racist or xenophobic, or I don't know what it is. I guess I'd seen too many Godfather movies or something, where the guy was Italian. And I came in, I said, Mr. So-and-so and everything, and he says, where's the money? And I said, right here. Gave it to him, and he signed, my paperwork or whatever, and of course I had, and so the guy said, the guy was just drooling, This guy just made $9,000 and was, him and his wife and his kids are probably going to go on vacation or something. Anyway, I took the guy up to his, room, and it wasn't a single room, and it wasn't a two-people room. It was like a war, I forget how many people were in there, cots. Well, maybe it wasn't a cot, but it wasn't, wasn't a king-size bed or a queen-size bed, a twin bed. Anyway, I took the guy up, and, tears were rolling down this guy's face, And I left him. I wish I could forget that memory. And I'm not sure how it works in other countries. I'm sure it sucks here in the United States. If you get old or whatever, I'm not sure if you, provided you've worked and paid into Social Security, and then you can get into a nursing home. And I don't think very many of the nursing homes you want to get into. Anybody can start if you have a house and you have some room, you have an old house and so you have some rooms, and there are certain requirements, but they're not very good. And then that can be a nursing home, and those people collect. If you have money, the government requires you to pay for the nursing home. And also, if you say you have some collateral, you have a house. I'm not sure exactly how this all works, except it sucks, I'm sure. Let's say you save some money up for your kids. Maybe they're grown by that. Hopefully, they're grown by the time that you, are going to be going into a nursing home or something. But say you have something, you have to dispose of it, and you can't give it. I'm not sure. At some point, you probably could. I'm not sure where it is, but let's say something happens to something happens to you and you need care. You need to go into a nursing home. If you have any equity or something, you can't sign the house over to your kids. If you have some money in the bank, you can't turn it over to your kid. At some point you could. I guess, if you're 80 years old and you're healthy and everything, and you have some money in the bank, and maybe you have some property, a little farm or something that, maybe you rent it out, or, anyway, you have a little bit of equity, you have a little bit of stuff. And say you're 80 and you're in good health. If you signed it over to if you gave the money to your family, if you sign it over to them, the farm or something, or you sell the farm and divide the money among your kids or do something like that, okay. But if you can't do it, apparently, and then, you have to go in the nursing home. If you give the money to your family, if you sign the house over to them or whatever, and you're going into the nursing home next year, or I don't know how long it is, but what you'd have to do is you want to do that early. If you do it at the last minute, the government comes back, says no, this is an illegal thing, blah, blah, blah. It sucks, I'm sure. And I'm not sure the exact things, except our system sucks. I worked hospital security for 30 years, and the emergency room always gets patients that come in from a nursing home. And a lot of times they come in bed sores. You get bed sores, I guess, from not being moved, that type of stuff. They get bad conditions. Sometimes they come in, they have a lot of hair or whatever. They have maggots in there. I mean, it's just... Now, the nurses at the emergency room, when somebody like that comes in, they will call a hotline to report the nursing home, and there'll be hopefully an investigation done. But maybe with he's going to be busy. Maybe with President Biden, maybe some changes can be made in all these different areas that need to be taken care of. We don't need to be. I'm in favor. We're all in favor of defense. We've all, I think we've all learned our lessons. When the United States had to go in World War I, we weren't prepared. We didn't have an army really. Didn't have we've made that mistake many times. The same with World War II. We weren't ready. We got ready a little bit because of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was held back by the American people not wanting to get involved in foreign. We have an ocean on each side. We didn't want to get involved in Europe's stuff. But of course we had to, But, we have no problem pouring money into making nuclear weapons and billion-dollar aircraft carriers and all types of things. But we just don't want to put money in. It's, of course, because of Congress or whatever, the military-industrial complex has the senators and the congressmen in their pockets, and it's basically bribery, It should be illegal, but it's not. It's the way the system works. But hopefully some of these things can be changed, but I'm not suggesting that we don't have a good, military, but the amount of money that has been wasted on, weapons. We don't have a problem, spending billions of dollars, but military should be paid better. We should have more our military, in my opinion, they're having to pull too many, tours of duty. They shouldn't be doing the number of tours of duty that they're doing. I understand during World War II and whatever that the guys were in the trenches and on the ships and until the job was done. But now we have a different type of a situation, and we should have enough troops that when it's necessary for some to be deployed, when they come back, they should be back for a while, and they can be, retrained, being trained, and but be at home where they can get to their families and have time off and all this type of stuff. And military families are just sacrificing so much. So many sacrifices have to be made, and we shouldn't be doing that to the families. Anyway, by the way, I've said this before. I'm not even sure how I got on this subject. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. F10, I think.